Some quick hits.
We gotta move quickly.
There's no time.
Move fast there, come on! And here we go for a Tuesday installment of America's favorite sports radio segment right here on the Jake Asman Show. It's time for Quick Hits, and Quick Hits this morning is brought to you by Exergen. Everyone's temperatures vary throughout the day, so it's important that you screen for fever in the morning and in the evening. Fever is a sign of COVID-19, so stay safe with the Exergen temporal scanner. So many storylines to get into here, but we begin with the San Francisco 49ers, who after making the big trade to move up to number 3 on Friday with the Dolphins, now find themselves faced with a decision on which quarterback they will be taking with that third overall selection. Well, today is a significant day for the San Francisco 49ers because John Lynch, the GM, and Kyle Shanahan, the head coach, they'll be in Alabama today. They'll be in Tuscaloosa. Why? Because they're going to be watching Alabama's Pro Day, where Mac Jones will be slinging the rock around the field. And Mac Jones, meeting the media yesterday, was asked how he would fit in the 49ers offense.
I've watched their tape and stuff. I've got a chance to watch a lot of everybody, but 49ers specifically, obviously they run a lot of wide zone. They also have a great fullback, so they can run power, and they do a bunch of good play pass off of that. So outside zone, sprint out stuff. Obviously their drop back passing game is really similar to what we did with Sark, and some of their motions that they use. I noticed they got the boomerang motions and the cap motions across the ball fast. So that's all stuff that I'm really familiar with. And obviously it's a super quarterback-friendly offense, and they have great playmakers there. So I'm really looking forward to just learning more about that.
So Mac Jones thinks he'd be a great fit in that Shanahan offense. Here's the question I would throw out there. Which quarterback would come out and say they're not a fit for a certain offense, right? A, all these guys want to be drafted as high as possible because you make the most money. But B, all we hear about from anyone is how great the Shanahan offense is. I'd love to hear the guy that came out and said, yeah, actually, I don't think I'm a good fit for Shanahan's offense, at all, because that quarterback would be the first quarterback to ever come out and say such a thing.
Well, wasn't it kind of said? I mean, it was. I guess it wasn't said about the offense, but when Eli back in the day said, "I'm not going to San Diego," it was probably the closest we'd ever get to it, right?
I think that was more because of the team. And
no, I know exactly. I mean, I know it wasn't about the city, but it was about the team and what was going on, the culture of that team. But I think that's the closest we could ever get to it. A quarterback coming out saying, yeah, I wouldn't be a good fit for that offense.
I mean,
maybe John Elway did that,
but like
with the Colts,
it was different because it was the team and they were trying to force themselves away from a certain situation. Like no one has anything bad to say about the style of offense.
No.
It is. The Jets are now running the Shanahan system. The Packers run the Shanahan system. The Titans were running the Shanahan system. Most teams in the league have adopted the Shanahan style of offense. So I'd love to hear the quarterback that comes out and like, yeah, actually, I don't think I'm a good fit for that offense. I'd much rather the Adam Gase offense. I'd love to hear the quarterback that says that.
No one would say that.
I guess Peyton Manning would say that. But the Adam Gase offense with Peyton Manning was just Gase would get Peyton his coffee, and Peyton would just call plays at the line of scrimmage and do whatever the heck he wanted.
Yeah.
But seriously, you tell me the quarterback that will say, yeah, I don't like the Shanahan offense because, newsflash, you won't find it. Here's the thing, though. If the Niners want to go pro-ready quarterback, it seems like that's Mac Jones. So I support any Mac Jones decision Shanahan makes because, as I said yesterday and will say again today, in Kyle Shanahan, we trust. If you believe in Shanahan being this offensive guru, let him pick his quarterback. Let him get the guy he believes in. You moved up to number 3 to get a quarterback. If it's Fields, great. I support it. If it's Mac Jones, I'm all in. And if it's Trey Lance, I'm in as well.
You know what else this tells you? Jimmy G is going to be on a new team.
So you are in the camp of Jimmy G gets traded before the year starts.
I'm in the camp that he will get traded before the NFL trade deadline.
So you think he starts the year with the team?
I think he starts the year with the team. I think they hold on to him just in case, have a little quarterback competition, a friendly quarterback competition, if you will. And then once the year starts, he might start a game or two. That way he could showcase. Oh, guys, remember Jimmy G? Look how good he is.
Right.
Look at this fine specimen. He's on the trading block because we're going to go with Mac Jones here on out.
Mac Jones. Look, here's the thing with Mac Jones. I know everyone wants to discredit what he did at Alabama because of the great players around him, but watch some of the throws he made. Watch the reads he had to go to. Like, the guy wasn't just like a one-trick pony as a player. Like, he was not A.J. McCarron or Greg McElroy. He had a better year than Tua did, and he's been more durable than Tua.
Which is kind of weird because we don't normally have Alabama quarterbacks this sought after. Usually an Alabama quarterback is there to hand off the ball, throw to a couple of receivers. Those guys make names for themselves in the NFL, and the Alabama quarterback kind of disappears over a couple of years.
I'll say this, though. Anyone who drafts quarterbacks based on what the school they went to, like, oh, we can't draft a quarterback from Bama. It hasn't worked out since Joe Namath. Or we can't draft a USC quarterback. They don't really work out great in the NFL. I mean, how was it working out for Texas Tech quarterbacks or Clemson quarterbacks or, name the top quarterbacks in the league? Like, how many great quarterbacks came from Purdue before Drew Brees? Like, what was Michigan at the quarterback spot before Brady? Like, the reality is if a guy's good, he's good. It's hard to play quarterback in the NFL.
Well, didn't you have a couple Harbaughs at Michigan?
How were their NFL careers? Anything special?
Coaching or playing?
It's just crazy to me that it's like, oh, we can't draft Justin Fields because Dwayne Haskins was a bust.
It was kind of funny to say that. Then what school has produced the best quarterbacks over and over again?
Honestly, you can make an argument. BYU, Steve Young, Super Bowl champion, Jim McMahon, Super Bowl champion.
Yeah.
Let's hope the trajectory
maybe
of BYU quarterbacks continues for our guy.
Maybe
Zach
ZW.
Yeah, Z-Dub.
Z-Dubs.
I've asked Jet fans on Twitter at Jake Asman to tweet me what we're going to be calling Zach Wilson. It seems like, I don't know if I love this, but I support my fellow Jet fans. It seems like Wall Street Wilson is the leader in the clubhouse.
Let's not do that, guys.
We're not doing, Morgan Mahomes. We're not doing Broadway
What if
Zach.
it's not Jack or Jack? What if it's not Zach Wilson? What if it's Justin Fields?
I'd be shocked if it's Justin Fields for the Jets at this point. Shocked.
I mean, a lot of similarities to one Lamar Jackson. So, the way he plays,
you see similarities to Lamar.
No, that's what I've heard. Not that I've seen.
See, I see Deshaun Watson when I watch Fields.
Or Deshaun Watson.
That's the type of player I see. Anyhow, someone's going to get a good player in Fields. I don't understand the lack of Fields hype. We'll get to Fields coming up. Ryan Day spoke yesterday as coach at Ohio State. We'll talk about that. But let's hear more from an actual player on the San Francisco 49ers. This was George Kittle appearing on 10 Questions with Kyle Brandt through the Ringer. He was asked about the Niners potentially drafting a quarterback with that third pick and what that means for his buddy Jimmy G.
I mean, I trust in Kyle and John. They're trying to do whatever they can to make the team better. So whether that's competition, it is what it is. Like, I don't really have a say in it. I'm just going to show up. I'm going to try to do my job the best of my ability and support whoever's on my team. Like, I get it. It's a competitive sport and you're competing for jobs every single day. And, I want Jimmy G to be my quarterback. And, that's what camp and OTAs and competition's for. So I just, whatever they do, I can't wait to see what the team looks like in a couple weeks.
Well, he loves Jimmy G, but Jimmy G's not going to be throwing to you not much longer, George Kittle. So get ready to catch some passes from Mac or Justin or Trey, or I guess in some sort of scenario, Zach. Definitely not Trevor, though. Definitely not Trevor. That's not going to happen. Anyhow, that's Kittle.
If it's Trevor, then the NFL, there needs to be an investigation done.
It will not be Trevor. You had Urban Meyer basically come out the other day and be like, yeah, we're taking Trevor.
Yeah.
Which I respect. It's like, why are we beating around the bush?
And the NFL going, no, please don't say stuff like that. We want it to be a surprise.
You know what's going to be really annoying? We all know they're taking Trevor Lawrence. Urban Meyer basically tells you that the other day in an interview with Peter King. And the Jaguars are still going to take all 10 minutes of the clock. Last night in Cleveland.
You know what? I think they turn it in almost immediately, and I think the NFL goes, no, we're going to make you wait. Make everyone, we're going to throw a rumor out there at the last second that no one's going to believe.
It's going to take a full 10 minutes for them to take Trevor Lawrence when we all know, we've known now for like 3 years he's going to be the first pick in the draft whenever he came out, that they're going to be taken.
How refreshing would it be if the draft starts and like, Jaguars pick is in as soon as Roger Goodell comes out? I mean, you should just walk out with the card, right?
He should just sprint out and be like, Trevor Lawrence, Jacksonville, da, 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 because the draft starts with the Jets.
Or do one of those things where he goes, Jacksonville, you're on the clock, turns around just right there at the podium. And with the first selection,
Trevor Lawrence, come on down. Trevor Lawrence said, by the way, this came out, I think, 2 days ago, he will not be in Cleveland for the draft. He'll be watching with family and friends from home.
And Cleveland has a reason to hate him now.
I guess so. If the draft was in New York, that would have been rough for the Jet fan. That would have been rough. They probably would have booed him just because he's not going to be theirs, which is pretty funny. Anyhow, let's move off of George Kittle and the Niners and all that. And let's talk about Justin Fields. I mentioned him. Ryan Day spoke yesterday, so Ohio State's having their pro day today. So the head coach of the Buckeyes, Day, spoke about Fields and why he thinks he's going to be an outstanding NFL quarterback.
When you look at the way he competes on the field, that speaks for itself. Not only his ability to throw the ball, but his size, ability to make plays. He's a winner. He's tough, really smart. And, he picks things up really quickly. So, whatever they teach in terms of a scheme, he's going to pick that up very, very quickly. And he's very, very competitive. So when you combine the talent, the size, the arm strength, his competitiveness, his toughness, his intelligence, it kind of checks all the boxes. And if you were trying to design a quarterback, to me, Justin fits that prototype.
I agree with everything he said. I'll repeat what I said earlier in the show. It baffles me why the stock for Fields continues to plummet. I like Justin Fields. He reminds me of Deshaun Watson coming out of college. Some of the things they said about Deshaun are now being said about Fields because he didn't have as good of a final season in college as he did his previous year. But what showed me that Fields could be a franchise quarterback in the NFL was the 6 touchdown performance while dealing with a busted rib against Clemson, against a team that's loaded with NFL players. Fields balled out in that game, and he outplayed Trevor Lawrence. And I get it, it's more than just, one quarterback versus another, but Fields was great in that game. We all fell in love with him that night. And ever since then, Fields, has been plummeting. Mac Jones has been rising. And I don't get it. I like Justin Fields. I think whoever drafts Justin Fields is going to get a guy that's going to be a very good quarterback.
Yeah. Here's the Lamar Jackson comparison that I remember hearing was that he could fall like Lamar Jackson did.
That makes more sense.
And that would be devastating. Or somebody at the very tail end of it's going to get a great quarterback.
He better not be there at 15 for the Patriots. That's all that I ask. Because if he goes to the Patriots, he's going to be great. And I can't allow that to happen. The NFL needs to step in and make sure that doesn't happen.
Yeah. Needs to remain in the top 10, right?
Please, for the love of God. My God. Just brutal. Absolutely brutal. Can't let that happen. He could go 4 to the Falcons. Could go 8 to the Panthers. They could trade up for him.
This draft, I would not be surprised if the first 4 picks are all quarterbacks.
It could happen.
Just because,
we know the first 3 definitely will be.
Yeah, because there really isn't like a Chase Young coming out or, a Bosa brother coming out this year that's like, oh, we got to pick him up on defense. There's a lot of really good guys, but no one that's like, I guess, like just blowing everyone's top off.
Can't do it. You just can't let him get to the Patriots. That's my biggest fear. Someone trade up and get Justin Fields.
Could happen.
I could see first 4 being quarterbacks. I really could. Also, there is a scenario the first 5 could be quarterbacks. No one's talking about the scenario where the Bengals trade back from 5 to 8 and Carolina comes up to get Mac Jones. Like, let's say it goes Lawrence, Wilson, we'll say Lance goes 3 to the Niners, 4 Fields, 5 Jones. If Carolina moves up from 8 to 5. Because remember, they can't trade 8 to 4, I wouldn't think, because they're in the same division. So I doubt Atlanta wants to help Carolina get their franchise quarterback. But what if Cincinnati moves back a couple spots and they still end up getting Penei Sewell at 8?
Yeah, if they move, I imagine they get the number 8 pick and then maybe another first rounder or an early second.
Like, there is a scenario where 5 quarterbacks go in a row. I doubt that happens, but it's not crazy. Just saying. All right, college basketball. USC, the 6 seed, will try and take down the 1 seed Gonzaga. Good luck. 7:15 p.m. Eastern time. Tip-off and the Elite 8 there. The nightcap, though, UCLA, the 11 seed, against the 1 seed Michigan. 9:57 p.m. Eastern. Get ready, Ron. 9:57 p.m. Eastern. Staying up late. And should be a great matchup, right? Mick Cronin's squad against Juwan Howard's squad. So Mick Cronin, meeting the media yesterday, was asked by the by a reporter on what matchup is keeping him up at night.
Look, they get really good players, so everything does. But I'll give you one good one. Okay, I don't have to play Juwan one-on-one.
He makes a good point.
He's not wrong.
He's not wrong. If it was a one-on-one matchup, I'd take the guy that played in the NBA for years.
Yeah.
I'd take that guy. I mean, I'll take that guy. That is certainly for sure.
Yeah, we all saw, why is his name escaping me, who played in that pickup game the other day for the shoes against the high school kid? Yeah, I know you saw that video.
I didn't see it. I don't think I saw this.
He's a former NBA player. I don't know why I keep wanting to say Wally Zerbiak, but it's not Wally Zerbiak.
It's not Wally?
No, it was oh my God. And he wasn't that good of a player.
Long Island's own Wally Zerbiak.
But he played for the Celtics. It'll come to me. But anyways, he was a fringe player. I mean, he bounced around. It was
Brian Scalabrine.
Thank you.
That's who you're talking about.
That's what I'm talking about.
And I did see that video. He owned him.
So, yeah, he owned him. Imagine Juwan Howard.
Also, I can't take credit for that because my brother reminded me it was Brian Scalabrine.
Thank you, brother.
Zach Asman, checking in. He's always on the bat line, my brother.
But what I was saying, what I'm making a comparison to is imagine Juwan Howard doing that, who was a decent player in the NBA. I'm certain that Juwan Howard can still play, and Cronin is right.
Yes, absolutely. All right, as we wrap up quick hits, just want to give a shout out to the YouTube audience tuning in. Sam P writes in, Jake, you've been my go-to guy for Jet stuff. Not sure why you're not getting more love. Well, Sam, I appreciate it. Spread the word because I'm somewhat new to YouTube. I only started posting there a couple months back and started from like 12 subscribers. So we're at 1,300 now and trying to grow the show that way. So I appreciate the kind words there. Sam also writes in, feels we'll land with a good team and will look the best in the first few years. Sam, it would not surprise me. Nobody knows a damn thing about these quarterbacks at the end of the day.
But you just don't want him to go 15.
I'll tell you what. If Fields went to the Jets, he's probably bad. If he goes to the Patriots, he's the next Tom Brady. That's how I think every Jet fan would look at it, right? So there you go. Good stuff from Sam. Thanks to the YouTube audience for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe to the page, and you can find me on Twitter at Jake Asman. Quick break, and we're back. Plenty to get into. Plus, Mike Meltzer, attorney at law and host on Mad Dog Sports Radio, will join us in 10 minutes to give us the latest on Deshaun Watson. Stay tuned. This is the Jake Asman Show here on Sports Map Radio.